Hey everyone, I'm talking this week to you about our talk on Sunday concerning this book, Hanging by a Thread, Questions on the Cross, Samuel Wells. And the conversation on this past Sunday, let me just recap it for you, is that the story of the cross is both our story and God's story. And we talked about whether the story of resurrection, death, life, death, rebirth, is essentially our story. Is it a human story and then it's God's story? Or is it God's story and then it's our story? In other words, did the story of Jesus Christ just kind of enter into the history of humanity as a once-and-done event that crystallized the power of resurrection and talked about it in new ways? Or did it teach us some elemental truth about that story? So we talked a little bit about that. We also talked about inserting ourselves into stories. And we talked about how, when we read certain novels, we imagine ourselves as a certain character in that novel. And, we pretend like I do, if this book was ever made into a movie, here's the character that I would be. I would play this person, and, this lovely actress would play the love interest or whatever. Anyway, we talked a little bit about that. But mostly we talked about the idea of the story of the cross being part of our story, and how do we insert ourselves into that story? Where do we see ourselves? A lot of Christians might see ourselves as with the women at the cross, not betraying Jesus, not fleeing like the men did. A lot of us might not think necessarily that we are the ones holding the spear like the centurion, or the ones nailing the nails into the hands and wrists. And yet, when we do the Passion, sometimes we're in churches where the congregation is invited to respond as the crowd may have. Crucify him! I don't really think that's entirely genuine either. You say, what responsibility do we play in the Passion play? What responsibility do we have in this story? How do we continue inserting ourselves into the story through this Lent? So that's what we talked about on Sunday. Visit again on Friday, our Facebook page. Again, we're not going to live stream it. It's just going to be a video that's going to post at 9 o'clock. But we need your comments. We need you to log in, check it out, let us know what you think. The next chapter in this is, actually we're doing both chapters. We're doing trust and life. Two big concepts, right? Trust and life. Those are the chapters that you're going to read. They probably encompass about 12 pages, dense stuff. So you definitely want to tune in on Friday. Trust and life. All right, catch you later.